Cleve, CBS News, Washington.
And a grim warning in this morning from the CDC. The agency is now forecasting America could see another 21,000 COVID-19 deaths in just the next 3 weeks. Now, in the run-up to the November election, the Postal Service is warning governors in Michigan and other key battleground states that it may not be able to deliver ballots in time. Whitney Wild is in Washington looking deeper into the postal problems and the election.
There's a new level of uncertainty to the upcoming presidential election. The Postal Service is warning states voters may not get their ballots back to election offices in time because of lags in mail delivery. That's according to letters reviewed by CNN.
The current issues at the post office alarm every American.
The U.S. Postal Service has long been plagued with problems and riddled with debt. It recently instituted a variety of cost-cutting measures and plans to remove hundreds of high-volume mail processing machines from facilities across the country. Unions representing postal workers have expressed concerns and say there will be less capacity to process mail, especially during the expected election season rush. The Postmaster General, a fundraiser to President Trump, acknowledged recent changes have had unintended consequences.
Despite any assertions to the contrary, we are not slowing down election mail or any other mail.
Democrats want to protect the Postal Service by packing a coronavirus stimulus proposal with $25 billion for the Postal Service.
Would you be willing to accept the $25 billion for the Postal Service, including the $3.5 billion to
Sure, if they give us what we want.
State election officials also want more money from Congress as states adapt to the pandemic and prepare for the election. But with stimulus talks at a standstill, it's not clear if any help will come. In Washington, I'm Whitney Wild.
Now, Michigan plans to mail postcards to 4.4 million registered voters, telling them they can vote from home in November. It will also spend $2 million to reimburse local governments that provide prepaid postage on absentee ballot return envelopes. And developing this morning, today marks the 75th anniversary of Japan's World War II surrender. The country's emperor and prime minister attended a ceremony in Tokyo to commemorate the occasion. In August 1945, the United States dropped 2 atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Tens of thousands of people were killed on impact. More people died later from burns or radiation-related illnesses. The bombings led to Japan's surrender and the end of World War II. SpaceX's next astronaut mission faces another launch delay. The target launch has been pushed back from late September to no earlier than October 23rd. This, according to NASA. The rocket will carry 4 astronauts to and from the space station. SpaceX hopes to follow the success of its historic first mission that wrapped up earlier this month. In more local news, longtime pastor Marvin Jennings, a beloved figure in Flint's religious community, is retiring. Jennings has been in religious leadership for more than 50 years, with the past 34 years at Grace Emmanuel Baptist Church. He is a longtime community activist and is the former chaplain for the Flint Police and the Genesee County Sheriff's Departments. His final day at the pulpit is tomorrow. And free food for the taking, courtesy of Crossover Downtown Outreach Ministry. The organization is hosting a mobile food pantry today, among several this month. Now, the giveaway is at the Fenton Chamber of Commerce on Adelaide Street. That begins at 10 and continues until food completely runs out. Another giveaway is scheduled for Wednesday at 5 at Westside Church in Flushing. Well, magician David Blaine wants to lift your spirits during the pandemic. I'm sure we all need it by attempting his first major live event in more than a decade. Yesterday, Blaine announced he will attempt to float over the Hudson River from New Jersey to New York City, all while holding on to a bunch of helium balloons. Now he's calling the special Ascension. Now, Blaine tweeted a promo photo on Wednesday and wrote, "The stunt has been 10 years in the making. It's set for August 31st and will air exclusively on his YouTube channel." I'm excited to check it out. 8:38 is your time right now. A Michigan bakery is stepping up to raise money for Beirut. Up next, how the community support is pouring in. And you're taking a live look at downtown Saginaw this morning. Another summer day ahead of us. We'll be back in just a moment.